caught my look and nodded. We reinforced all the doors and windows, plus the frames. The ceiling was fine since it's a helipad, but we added titanium sheeting under the carpet. Director Pravesh brought in some mages to ward everything. Nothing short of an archangel is getting in here without an invitation. Too bad we didn't think of it until it was too late. Her jaw tightened, and I saw the anger and self-recrimination flash across her face. I wanted to reach out, wanted to take her in my arms and tell her it wasn't her fault, that if someone was going to kidnap Count friggin' Dracula, that she wouldn't have been able to stop them anyway. But I could feel the anger boiling through our link and let it go. We'd figure out our shit later once Luke was safe, because burying my feelings had worked so well for me the last 6 months. I just bit my tongue and stepped over the threshold. The place looked just like I remembered it, only with fewer archangels lounging about. There was a big conference table dominating the living room with 8 chairs around it. A monstrous TV hung on one wall, and the blinds were open to the balcony, letting in the first rays of sunlight. On a couch off to the side of the room, a tall African-American woman with dreads and her foot in a walking boot snored quietly, stretched out with a hammer laying on the floor next to her. A little girl with her mother's nose sat on the floor by the couch, playing on a tablet computer, and she grinned when she saw me walk in. "Uncle Q," she cried as she sprang to her feet and barreled over to me. "Mommy said we might not see you for a long time. Were you on the helicopter? I heard it, but Mommy was asleep. Do you want some breakfast? I can make Pop-Tarts, but I bet Gran will make you scrambled eggs if you want some." I reached down and patted the girl on her head. She wore pink and purple pajamas with unicorns on them, and I felt a little pang looking at them, thinking of my pal Dennis, who was once a computer genius, then spent several years as a disembodied soul trapped in the internet, and was currently the Archangel Uriel. My life, it has the weird. "Hey, Jenny," I said. "Pop-Tarts sound great. Do you have the brown sugar and cinnamon ones? Those are my favorite." "I don't know. I'll ask Gran." She turned and marched off to the kitchen, where her grandmother was busy making coffee. I followed the girl, giving my best smile to Cassie as I walked behind the bar into the kitchen. "Hey, Cassie," I said. Cassandra Harrison, Luke's current Renfield, turned from the coffee maker, and I gasped. Cassie was getting older, in her mid-60s now, but she'd never looked her age until right that moment. She looked old. She looked old, and she looked frail. This was the woman I'd seen stare down Frankenstein's monster without blinking, but now she stood there in the kitchen with her arm in a sling and a split lower lip, and she looked like a stiff breeze would knock her over. "Jesus Christ, Cassie, what did they do to you?" I held out my arms, and she rushed into them, pressing her face against my chest. "I'm sorry, Quincy. I wasn't strong enough. They burst in the door like some kind of SWAT team in the movies, all dressed in black with guns and smoke grenades and gas masks. It was like the stuff I saw on the TV out of Alabama when I was a little girl. One of them grabbed me before I could hit the button to lock down Luke's panic room, and he threw me against the wall. I think I sprained my wrist." "She's lucky she didn't break anything," Joe Henry said, limping over to the bar that separated the kitchen from the living room. She had a crutch under one arm and a big bruise under one eye. "Bex and I were in here watching Netflix when we heard the commotion. She grabbed Jenny and hid her in my room while I took my hammer and ran out to see what was going on. We didn't know. We thought... Shit, Harker, we thought you were right and some of your shit had come down on us. I thought to myself, if you pissing off Lucifer got my mama or my baby hurt, we were going to see how many places in you I could shove a 9-pound hammer." "But they weren't after me," I said. "No." Director Kea Pravesh of the Department of Homeland Security Paranormal Division said as she walked into the room and strode over to the conference table. It was still a couple hours before dawn, but Pravesh looked as put together as if it were 10 in the morning. She had on a sleek black suit, her hair pulled back in a tight bun, and a jacket cut well enough that I could just see the bulge her pistol made. Her only concession to the action her job sometimes saw was the pair of black sneakers on her feet. No stylish heels for Director Pravesh. I was willing to bet my house that she had a backup pistol strapped to one ankle, too. They were after Luke, and they knew when and how to hit him. They came in mid-afternoon when the